Alex Hormozi will soon be a billionaire from his personal brand.
Our portfolio of companies does over $250 million a year.
But what's the hidden strategy Hormozi has used to go from creating YouTube videos in a cupboard with a few thousand subscribers to dominating the entire business niche? 10 million followers, millions of dollars per month, and influencing almost every entrepreneur with an internet connection. It's a repeatable blueprint that you can implement in your own personal brand. Now, it's not as simple as just blowing up overnight. Behind the scenes, Hormozi had been creating podcasts for nearly 4 years before he ever built momentum on YouTube, using these podcasts as a method of acquiring clients for his gym marketing company, Gym Launch. His team would cold outreach gym owners, invite them onto the podcast, where Hormozi would uncover their pain points and then pitch them behind the scenes. It wasn't until later that he branched out to YouTube, originally posting videos, again helping gym owners get more customers through the door, before later expanding to creating general business content. That was until one decision was made that changed everything, skyrocketing his YouTube channel from 5,000 to 1.6 million subscribers in just 24 months. It was all triggered by a single consultation call with Grant Cardone that cost Hormozi $135,000. Cardone's advice? Post 10x more content. Hormozi took this advice and ran with it, going from 7 pieces of content a week to currently posting over 60 pieces of content every single day. And to maintain this content machine, it costs $4 million a year in team and resources. But diving into our funnel breakdown here, we can see Hormozi's initial podcast now only makes up a small piece of the puzzle, being overshadowed by his YouTube channel, his wife and business partner Leila's YouTube channel, as well as his Instagram, TikTok, X, and LinkedIn. But here's the kicker. You could post 60 pieces of content a day right now and still gain no traction at all, because Hormozi implements a few hidden techniques to make his content wildly high performance. But now starting to gain more traction, Hormozi once again hunted down someone further ahead in the game to learn from. This time it just so happened to be the biggest YouTuber on the planet, Mr. Beast. Hormozi told him that he didn't want to make clickbait videos. Mr. Beast responded, "You absolutely need to make clickbait videos, just actually deliver on the promise in the video." And since then, this has shaped Hormozi's content going forwards. Each video digs into a pain point or a desire of the viewer, avoiding being a loser or trying to become a winner. But more importantly, each video delivers on the actual promise in the title, but in a structured way, so viewers don't just get all the information up front and just click off the video, which would ruin watch time. Firstly, we've got the most important part of the video, and this is the 3-part intro. We start off with a credibility hook.
I've been in business for 13 years. I've sold 9 companies. My last company I sold for $46.2 million.
At which point the viewer is thinking, what's in it for me? So immediately after the credibility, we've got the value promise, which explains to the viewer exactly what they'll gain from watching the video.
I'm going to compress 13 years of brutal business truths and lessons into this one video.
You can also increase the perceived value in the viewer's mind by adding an optional bonus value point.
And a little bit later in the video, I'm going to tell you how you can capitalize on this to 10x how much you make.
Finally, in the intro section, we've got the introduction of the model or the idea of the video, which frames the video into a formulaic step-by-step process.
I'm going to walk you through a 4-step process.
Now, after this 3-part intro section, Hormozi tends to structure his videos using this viral scripting framework. In fact, it's the same one I've used to get over 250 million views across my work, working alongside top personal brands. So after our intro, each point is broken down into why, what, and how, and a secret extra point I'll show you in just a moment. The why is often a personal story, sometimes his, sometimes a friend's.
A young man who was working 2 jobs with a 1-year-old who's struggling and said he was sick and tired of being poor.
That's why earlier on, I didn't just say Hormozi started making content. I said he met with Grant Cardone, paid him $135,000, and it changed everything. Because viewers don't remember tips and tricks, they remember stories. Next we have the what the information is. Then we have the how, or how the viewer can implement the information. And the final point, we can also add a hook for the next section, which is a bold, impactful sentence teasing what's about to come up.
This is the one skill I will give you that you need to bolt on to instantly give yourself the lift.
And this is the core loop, repeated for every point of the video. Then we hit our outro, where Hormozi zooms out out to see the bigger picture or the meaning behind the video, and then finally leaves the viewer with a powerful, often contrarian point that summarizes the video's core mindset.
Stop thinking that there's something wrong with your business and maybe look at the fact there might be something wrong with your expectation.
Injected into the middle of this script is a call to action, framed as a free gift, telling viewers to visit Hormozi's website, where he then does something very interesting to convert viewers into buyers. But quickly before that, if you want to steal the strategies top personal brands like Hormozi use to grow and monetize their audience, then I break them down every single week in my free newsletter, Personal Brand Builders, and send them straight to your inbox. It's based on my experience meeting, studying, and working alongside some of the biggest personal brands in the world, and then growing my own from $0 to $10,000 a month in just 90 days. These are the techniques that top personal brands want to keep hidden from you. It's the first link in the description to join for free, but you have to promise me that you'll implement the strategies very carefully because they are powerful.
Give away the secrets, you sell the implementation.
That's the main philosophy behind Hormozi's entire strategy.
Take all the content you would normally sell as your course and give it all away.
So here's how Hormozi's seemingly innocent free content ethically brainwashes his audience into paying him. On the website, there's two main categories of lead magnets or resources Hormozi is giving away for free or very cheap to build even more trust with his audience and collect email addresses. We've got his 3 free courses and his 2 books. He's giving away tons of valuable information for free or very cheap in the case of his books, and then selling the implementation on the back end, which we'll dive into very soon. Because this,
I have nothing to sell you,
is now a lie. But the most important part is Hormozi's recent free lead magnet, which is a personalized $100 million scaling roadmap for businesses, where a handful of questions are asked about the person entering the form, and based on their answers, depending on what level of business they're at, a custom roadmap document is then emailed to that person. And this is called segmentation. Hormozi is taking the leads that enter his form and breaking them down into segments, which make sure all the leads get a roadmap that works for them and ultimately are being talked to and sold to in the correct way for their circumstances. Because if this lead magnet was talking to and selling someone doing $1 million a year, like they were just starting out, it simply wouldn't resonate and the lead magnet simply wouldn't work. Now, this is where things get interesting, because once you enter this form, depending on the answers you give to these questions, you're either upsold to an in-person workshop event at acquisition.com headquarters in Las Vegas, which lasts for 2 days. The basic ticket costs $5,000, but an estimated 30% of buyers actually upgrade to a $30,000 to $35,000 package. An estimated 10% of those further upgrade to the $130,000 boardroom experience. Now, I'm sure you can see how millions of leads coming into this form can quickly turn into 8+ figures in high-ticket workshop sales. But if you were to enter the form and you're more of a beginner in business, you're upsold to Skool.com, Hormozi's software company that he owns alongside Sam Ovens, where you can build and monetize a community. But diving deeper into the workshop landing page, we can see we've got a very broad, simple title, which is intentional. He has enough interest, authority, and leads to just present the offer, show some social proof, show what's included, show some frequently asked questions, and then get people on the call with his sales team. And when the lead books and joins the call, one of the acquisition.com sales team uses Hormozi's closer framework. Firstly, clarify why they're on the call, label the problem, overview why they've failed previously on their past plan, sell the vacation, not the plane ride, so selling the outcome and not the process, explain away their concerns, and finally reinforce the decision. And this is how Hormozi's sales team is able to close anywhere from $5,000 to $135,000 packages over the phone. But what happens at the bottom of this funnel is what brings it all together and makes this massive operation actually profitable. And it's all from a weird strategy that was completely unheard of before Alex Hormozi blew up. When Hormozi first came onto the YouTube scene, one of his selling points was saying, "I have nothing to sell you," which set him apart from other business creators on YouTube who often hard sold. But what if I told you this is now a lie? Whilst Hormozi now does have something to sell you, the in-person workshops, this came from supply and demand. It would have been stupid to not cater to the market and not help these people, just to have the false moral high ground of not selling anything. But to dig deeper, Hormozi didn't have anything to sell in the first place because his strategy was totally different to every other big personal brand. Hormozi's company, acquisition.com, billionaire.com does what it says on the tin. It acquires companies, specifically companies doing 1 million to 10 million in EBITDA, companies that Hormozi sees as billion-dollar plays. Alex and Leila Hormozi's personal brands and the training arm of the company are all simply a self-liquidating funnel for their acquisition company. Their method of finding lucrative investment opportunities not only pays for itself, but it's also profitable and compounding. This is the engine of acquisition.com that makes it all worth it. The $4 million per year into content, all the free information given out, the amount of time and effort going into creating 60 pieces of content a day, it's all a funnel to buy companies. And this is the magic of personal branding. Building systems that turn free, valuable content into an empire of companies running at $250 million a year. Now, this might all sound intimidating and out of reach for you. I can without a doubt say personal branding isn't luck. It's a repeatable blueprint that you can implement no matter your niche, strategy, or current experience. And if you want to see exactly how Dan Coe made $7 million as a one-person business, watch my next video here, and thank you for watching.